You likely clicked on this video because maybe you have the same challenge I did. You want to put in a golf simulator home theater and you only have an 8-foot ceiling in the basement. Can you do it? Yes, you can, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you in this video. And yes, I did hire a structural engineer to ensure we did it correctly because we have 40-foot trusses spanning here and the main floor of the house is right above here. This is my second setup, which made it easier, and there's a link in the description if you want to see that normal setup and more description. Key tip I have for you when you do this is think long term with every decision you make, because you're going to have this for many years and you're going to live with it. The most important variable in the entire project is the quality of the video image for the sim in the home theater. This is the new BenQ golf projector. I think the model number is the AK700ST. This is a laser, not a bulb projector. It's good for 20,000 hours and has the ability to adapt to a curved screen like I set up. Think about how many hours you're going to use this sim, how many balls you're going to be in here, how many movies you're going to watch, how many big sporting events you're going to watch. This projector is a no-brainer. Trust me, I've done this a long time and seen many sim setups. You're not going to be happy if you go cheap and get a $1,000 projector. For the golf sim, I use the GC Quad by Foresight Sports. Let's just show a flyover right here. Hole you'll likely recognize. This is 18 and Pebble. Graphics are 4K. They're amazing. My screen is 13.5 by 7 feet 10 inches high. I put a factory refurb Polk audio subwoofer and soundbar behind my screen, and it just rocks. Here's the answer to solve the 8-foot ceiling issue and get room to swing the longer clubs. We created a box that's 30 inches wide by 6 feet long and 13 inches deep. For me, I've got a little over 9 feet is all I need. Maybe you need more. Maybe you don't hit a driver in here. Maybe you hit a 3-wood, 5-wood. But for me, it's all I need. And I'm going to show you exactly how we did it with pictures and documentation. I'm just going to swing a few and hit a couple just to show you. This is a 9-iron. Not a problem, obviously, in here. You gonna get that ball, Gracie? I'm gonna run in and get it. So that's not a problem. Not really warmed up, but here's a 6-iron. There's a 6-iron. No problem. Here's a 5-wood. No problem, obviously. Ball, mini driver. Mini driver, and I can swing a driver. Tee one up just to show. There's plenty of room up there if you do it right. It's going to take some trial and error to figure out where the mat needs to be, how far back, how far left and right, but it works. Before you put the screen on the frame with the bungee cords, you're going to want to go to Home Depot and get these 1-inch foam pipe. They're black. They're pipe insulators, but you're going to put them on the pipe and then put the bungee cords, wrap it around that. It'll keep it tight. If an errant ball hits that pipe, you don't want it hitting the pipe. You want it hitting that foam so it looks better also. It's a much better finished look. Key thing you're going to have to do is figure out where does the projector go in relation to the room. BenQ has a very nice tool. It's the BenQ Golf Simulator Planner, and you're going to be putting in all your appropriate dimensions, and it'll tell you where the projector has to be. Err on the side of too far back versus too close. I actually had to move mine once so it would fill the screen properly. You're going to need power source up there, and you're also going to need to run that HDMI cable from that hole where the power is, where the lights are, across the ceiling and down the wall to your gaming computer. I think only one LED light is needed down on the hitting area. I've got lights here from my golf memorabilia that looks kind of cool to finish off your room. So just a simple spotlight there. You can maneuver it where you want to go because obviously you don't want to have lights on the screen. You will need flooring. The last time I purchased it online was 4 times the cost of what I got this flooring for. I saw a Reddit forum in Golf Sim and somebody said, hey, look on Facebook Marketplace. And wow, there's many options. I got this nice high quality putting green material and the longer fringe, and I seamed it together on 2 exposed sides for $275. Cooper likes having grass in the house. He's my constant companion. This is a golf hitting mat from Real Feel. If you're going to be hitting thousands of balls over the many coming years, don't get cheap. Get a high quality mat. There's other options out there too. The key calculation you have to determine is where the mat needs to be in relation to the screen and the overhead projector. That will determine where the box will be cut out. Take some effort, take some trial and error, and I'll walk you through it as best I can. It is simply a process of elimination and trial and error to figure out where you will eventually put the blue painter's tape on the ceiling. That's where you're going to cut it out. So you have to figure out where the mat's going to be, left or right, or north and south, the depth. Where is the projector going to go? You will put some marks down on the mat like I did there, and you're simply going to swing a progressive series of longer and longer and longer clubs to figure out what's comfortable for you, where that needs to be cut out. Don't rush into it. It's going to take several days to figure out, but you'll get it. Then we're using a Sawzall. That's my brother-in-law, Nick, using a Sawzall to cut that out. And then you can see what it looks like with the exposure of the trusses up there. And then here's a video of Ryan, the structural engineer. Ryan is a structural engineer here. He's just going to kind of talk us through it here, what we're going to do.
We're going to run 2x12s for a 30-inch opening. We'll extend it 30 inches on that side, 30 inches on that side. Glue it and screw it to the trusses, 3 places.
A 2x12 at the top?
Yeah, which will hang down 11¼ inches, and then below that you'll cut out the framing, any webbing members. You want to reinforce them with horizontal members, and then you'll just plug and chug with your sheetrock, patch it all up, make it look good.
So overall, not a big deal. Structural integrity for the house.
As long as it's done right.
Exactly, yeah, we will. Well, we'll get your written plan. We'll do it. So here are the exact plans, as you can see for yourself, from Ryan, the structural engineer. So we followed this explicitly. You're going to need enough 2x12s to have them 30 inches wide of each opening on each side. You're going to need the liquid nail. You're going to need a nail gun, and then you're going to need great wood screws as directed. So you use liquid nail anywhere the wood is going to have contact with the 2x12. You glue it, and then the first thing you do is you nail it a couple times, and then you're going to screw it in. Okay, when you're putting in the 2x12s, just wanted to reinforce, you get a 2x4 that's long enough and put a piece of wood there so you don't damage your turf. But as you lift the 2x12 up there, you're screwing it in every area, and then you jam this 2x4 underneath there so you don't have to hold it. And then you can shoot it in a couple shots with a nail gun and then screw the rest. Makes it a lot easier to hold that thing up there. So here's some pictures showing exactly what we did. Obviously, you've got one 2x12 there in, and then as you're putting it in, it helps to draw lines where the trusses are going to be, so when you're screwing it, you can be much more accurate. There you can see the 2x12 on one side of the truss. Then after that's gone, you're going to do a 2x4, cut it at 45-degree angles to go in there for horizontal support. Obviously, you need the Sawzall, need a level eventually here. And then you can see this is the finished product. You can see the 2x12 on each side with the horizontal supports. There's one on each side. Then what you're going to do, here's a picture after we've cut everything out and you've got the hole exposed. Then you're going to have to use the level because you are going to be doing, making sure everything is obviously plumb on all 4 sides. We decided not to do the sheetrock inside because obviously sheetrock is not very durable. So we did a laminate board, and all of the edging there is not wood. That is hard plastic. So it's much more durable than normally would be. So I am not often hitting drivers in here. I'm hitting more mini drivers than anything. I can hit the driver, but it's not necessary. If you've got an 8-foot ceiling and you've got a golf simulator set up and you can hit virtually every club in the bag and enjoy it, that is a big win, because I didn't think it was possible. If you have any questions, certainly don't hesitate to leave me a comment here, and I'll do everything I can to get back to you. But as far as I know, this is the holy grail. This is the only video on the internet of somebody doing an 8-foot ceiling in their basement. Somebody's done it in their garage, but not in their basement. Hope you enjoyed it.